women on board. Were all of the women pretty much in alignment with you, or were there some there who just didn't know what to do, who just steal? You know what I'm saying? They were sort of straddled. Did you see that somewhat within the
Yeah,
division?
yeah, there was, they kept the women kind of working separately. They didn't put us together very much. The stronger, bolder women, they kept us apart, which looking back would say a lot about, us not being able to collectively become strong. And so I worked not with a lot of women because they weren't put to work with me. And so that affected us in the sense of feeling safe, and to be able to come together with this and be braver sooner. There was also women that conformed to the behavior and decided to also treat the women badly for career advancements, which is what I experienced as well. To be able to get a better job, promotion, etc. So, there was varying degrees. Some women participated in the banter in the toxic workplace, but the research shows that that's just a way to manage the behavior. It's not necessarily them wanting to engage in it, but trying to minimize their fear of the behavior or how uncomfortable they are.
So these were actually women in leadership positions.
Yes, yes. And so as I looked up the chain and I was trying to really see what was going on as a whole, from the higher perspective within the policing culture, I could see females in positions, in leadership positions, who I knew and had disclosed to me that they were afraid of these bosses and that they too had experienced this abuse. And so, further up the chain, I looked, the ones at the top were the ones, engaging and discriminating against women and degrading women to better themselves in the hierarchy of policing. So, there was varying degrees of this, and none of it looked good. And I just felt that the only way that this was going to change was that I had to leave. And eventually they had put me in such a position of fear while at home on a leave. I went to the Human Rights Tribunal and I looked for a lawyer, and I did all the things because I knew there was people on the inside that their lives were at risk, their mental health was at risk, and with that comes the risk to our community. If we're not as police officers at our best health, mentally and physically, that's going to affect our community. And unfortunately, Marlene, I can say that I've heard recently that my workplace has not actually improved, and it's actually gotten in some ways worse. The men who needed the mental health support are not getting the support they need to be able to improve their lives. And it breaks my heart because that's not the way it's supposed to be. Those who serve should be helped, and the environment that's created for them should be positive, and those at the top should be responsible and accountable for that.
And you mentioned the men. So some of them, it was mental health. Tell me some of the areas that you help men with. What were some of the areas?
So mental health, comes in different ways for people, right? How they're managing stress. I know that one of my partners at the time in policing, he lost his father, and I could see the way that was affecting his mental health, his ability to work, how he was deciding, addiction to deal with his stress. A lot of it, either comes out in anger or comes out in addiction. And sometimes it comes out in sexual abuse and sexual violence, and all these things is how I see, the root cause is mental health. And as best I could, I led by example, and that was the way that I felt that I could show them respect and show them that, you don't have to do this, you can get help. I still have police officers to this day, male police officers, that will contact me and they'll thank me for what I'm doing and how I'm inspiring them and how they're behind me. And then they talk about their mental health. And, to still be able to be there for anyone that I've known or not known from a police service, it's so humbling because I am so okay with mental health in the sense that it is normal. May being Mental Health Month, it's normalized to me, right? It's just like having a physical injury. It's normalized to me. These are the things that we have to do. And it's not choosing alcohol and it's not choosing being angry. But when you don't know that these are your symptoms of what there's another cause for them, it's difficult. It is very difficult. I had become upset in ways that I had never been as a person. I was coming across with my family, and I was isolating more. So those were the signs for me that said I wasn't doing well. And it's really being connected to a community outside of a toxic community, because if you're in there, you don't know that there's a problem when everyone else around you is managing it the same way. So I hope that my story, my voice can help others, and show that you can not only survive and thrive after being a police officer or after facing sexual abuse. There's all kinds of resources and support out there, and it really creates a new life for you that that I never thought had existed.